I'd like to introduce you to Commerce Secretary Gary Locke. The Secretary is making his first public appearance here today with all of you. Again, another significant gesture about the importance of the 2010 census. So please help me welcome Commerce Secretary Gary Locke. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Juan, for the introduction, and I appreciate the great work that you do on NPR and on Fox News. It's really a pleasure to be here this morning, speaking out to so many organizations and individuals who are joining with the Census Bureau and the Department of Commerce in promoting one of our nation's most important and sacred events. Actually, Juan said that this is my first public appearance as Secretary of Commerce. This is actually my first duty as Secretary of Commerce. I was confirmed by the Senate last week, came into Washington, D.C. late last night. I got into the hotel about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and instead of going to the Department of Commerce this morning, I came here. So this is my very first stop in my official duty as Secretary of Commerce. But it's a measure of the priority that the Department of Commerce and the Census Bureau has, and it's a measure of my commitment as well. Yours is an extraordinary commitment. Your organizations and you as individuals are not being paid by the federal government to do this work on behalf of the Census Bureau. You're doing it because you understand and believe in the tenets of quality and full representation, regardless of economic status, regardless of race or ethnic origin. And that, in fact, is the foundation of the census. The census stems or goes back to the origins of our country. It's spelled out in the Constitution. In 1790, it was the subject of the very first presidential veto in American history. And it was a subject of dispute between Thomas Jefferson and Hamilton. The census is in the origin of our democracy, and it must include everyone. And we're going to make sure that the Census Bureau has the independent leadership that it deserves and the professional oversight that the American people demand. In 2000, the Census Bureau had more than 140,000 partners who helped encourage the residents of the United States to stand up and be counted. For the 2010 census, we will mobilize a very broad and diverse coalition of trusted members of the community to reach out to all Americans, especially those who are least likely to be counted. The Census Bureau depends on volunteers and organizations like you from every corner of America. It is your familiar, trusted voices that will help us succeed. We need you. We need you to be active in your communities, in your churches, your schools, soup kitchens, businesses, homeless shelters, community centers, food banks, on the newspaper, on the television, over the internet, educating residents about the census. The census determines how many members of Congress for each state. And then it's used by the states to determine the boundaries of each congressional district, as well as legislative districts. It also helps determine how some $300 billion every year by the federal government is allocated to our communities for programs ranging from education to human services. So being counted means deserved, well-deserved dollars for our communities. Dollars that our communities need and truly deserve. It's our job to let Americans know that taking part in the census is important, easy, and safe. Residents must know that their information is secure, that it is illegal for members of the Census Bureau to share any personal information with anyone, and that means other law enforcement agencies, whether it's the IRS, the FBI, immigration, or welfare officials. Any information collected by the Census Bureau is absolutely confidential. And please let people know that this year, the 2010 census is very simple. 2010, 10 questions, 10 minutes. So completing the census form will be very, very easy, and For every census form returned in the mail, it will save the federal government more money down the road in terms of trying to send out people into the communities to determine the count. The census is one of the most important functions of the federal government, and your commitment as a partner is absolutely critical. We will not be able to do this census without you and the organizations you represent. We're excited about the events and the activities that will take place over the next 12 months as we approach April 1, 2010. United in a cause that affects the lives of every single person in America. For almost 210 years, the government has conducted a census, and our goal remains the same. Count every American once, only once, and in the right location. And I thank you for your involvement and wish you all great luck and good work in the year ahead. Thank you very much.